Hello there, and we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the Dal and Claude show. See ya, guys. Yeah, this is a very special episode. Yeah, it's titled Arsenal Therapy, but rather than Arsenal Therapy, it's actually an Arsenal lap dance. So we're top of the league. See ya, guys. We have several things to discuss today. Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. Kai Havertz scores again, 65 million down the drain, but he scores again. That topic will be down there for us today. Arsenal get FC Porto in the Champions League draw. That one will also be talked about. And you know what? Yeah, without much ado, I have my partner in crime. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, my
What's
big
up?
big supporter. He inspires me a lot. Yeah, you guys know his tremendous contributions personally to me on my channel. But see, without much ado, man, the guy himself, Dal, DVS, several names, Oregongooner, yes, Amos Dal, anyone you want, he's got it. He's got it for you.
Wanted
Welcome
in
to the
many
show,
states.
Oregongooner, man. Exactly, man. He,
Let's get
he
it.
get,
Yeah, no,
mm,
thanks for having me on the show, Tony. I know we had to postpone yesterday till today, but I
mm,
appreciate that. Just some busy work schedule going on. It's the first week of
yeah.
Christmas holiday for the kids, so
Mm,
a
mm,
lot going on yesterday and this weekend. Had a basketball tournament for my son. And
yeah.
be honest, I did not watch the game because it was on at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning here on the west coast of USA. And I
Yeah.
woke up at 5:45 and said, what's the chance it's going to be a 0-0 draw? A pretty good chance.
Mm,
I said,
mm,
just sleep in. And of course, to
mm.
my excitement, we did them 2-0.
Yeah.
And it looks, from what I've seen, a very, very impressive performance and display.
Mm,
Lots of shots on goal. But I'm sure we'll dive into that. So,
mm.
other than that, yeah, happy
Yeah.
Tuesday. Get into it, man.
Man, happy Tuesday. Yesterday, when we couldn't do the show, I was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah,
my weekend starter. Now I'm gonna miss it." And then there was another show for Tuesday. I said, "Man, I deboed the show." I said, "Come on, man." I pushed it away. I said, "Nah, nah, 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 nah. I can't do without my Darling Cloud show.
yeah.
Everything, everything. In fact, nothing matters than this show, man. Big ups to
What
you,
a nice guy.
Oregon. See,
I
Oregon
appreciate
Gunner,
that.
now that we're at it, oh, in the charts, we have Wolfang Division who's joined us down here. It says, big up Dow, big up Tony,
Yeah.
big up Wolf, man. Wolf, how you doing, man? Guys, go subscribe to that channel, man. He's doing quite well, on the
Really.
short period of time. He's one of the most interesting newcomers into the Chelsea spot. Oregon Gunner is in the chart. MUFC Global is in the chart. Oh, Rossi is in the house. That's our guy, yeah. This is a big brother to us, man.
Nice
Carl
one.
Rossi, you're welcome to the show. See, yeah, Oregon Gunner. Let's
Yeah.
dive straight right into it.
Sure.
Arsenal 2,
Mhm.
Brighton nil. Before we got into this game, yeah, there were concerns that Arsenal might not just be quite ready to just get
Right.
into this, get into that matchup with Brighton. Not because Brighton was looking okay in the previous matches, but
Mhm.
but with the fact that Arsenal physically, yeah, in over two,
Right.
3 matches, hasn't really been, something to really write home about. Our defense has been, even if we do know that, it's not the worst it could get, but we know that our defense has been at least a little bit shaky in a
Right.
way. At least, we considered 3 goals at Luton.
Mhm.
Um, you know, we considered a goal in the Champions League. We lost the game to Aston Villa at Villa
Right.
Park. That there were concerns, yeah, that something might go wrong in this game. But for
Mhm.
Arsenal to go in, get 2 goals in the second half, yeah, lost a lot of opportunities. We'll talk about that. But what are the
Mhm.
ramifications of getting full points against Brighton, who have had uh, good spells at the Emirates? They've always beaten Arsenal at the Emirates, at least in the last 2 3 seasons that I can remember.
Right. We've split points with them. Yeah. No. It's. I thought we would beat them. I think they're Brighton's a pretty overhyped team. I think they were better a couple seasons ago. not to take anything away from De Zerbi, but I think they had Dressard and they had 2 or 3 other players, Cucurella, right, that made an impact for them. But I think that they've lost so many, and that they haven't bought really proven players, right? I think João Pedro, they purchased, he's a decent striker, but
Yeah.
I mean, is that someone that would you really spend 40-45 million on? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've made some bad decisions in recruiting and so forth. But De Zerbi hasn't played decent football, but they're not near as good as they were. And I figured I think I predicted we'd beat them 2-0 or 2-1.
Yeah.
I just, they're falling down the table, but we
Yeah.
put on a good display. I like I said, I didn't watch the match minute for
Exactly.
minute, but I saw 2 or 3 different highlights on YouTube, so I kind of got a
Yeah.
pretty good picture of the
Yeah.
game.
Mm.
And of course, watching some of your content and everybody else's too around Arsenal, like
Yeah.
Jazz, Gunner, etc. Shout out Connor and TJ, watch their reaction as well.
Yeah.
The Kai Havertz is looking to be. Oh God, do I feel like I'm in the mud?
That,
But
that
I think a
that's
lot
a
of us
topic.
think
That's a
that way.
topic on its own. That topic
Right,
comes
right.
later on.
But
That's a
right,
separate one altogether.
Brighton is so bad. We put 20 some shots on them, and it was a good day. So it was a good day out. We
Mm.
needed the points because we got to keep up with obviously Villa now,
Yeah.
Liverpool. But other than that, yeah, I thought it was a good display from the amount I watched. I could see that we
Mm.
controlled the game from the
Yeah.
highlights. We had most of the action. So
Yeah, when you say that, yeah,
mhm.
Arsenal controlled the game.
Right.
Actually, that was because throughout the season, yeah, Arsenal have been getting ball possession without actually dominating the game. This
Right.
Brighton game, it was a game that Arsenal did actually dominate proceedings. We were all over them in the first half.
Mhm.
Even in the second half, we were all over them. This is Arsenal's performance that was totally, totally dominating in all ramifications,
Right.
defensively, in the midfield, and of course in the attack. And someone stood out too on the day, Martin
Mhm.
Odegaard, not for his
Mhm.
scoring prowess, but he was creating chances. He was
Right.
running. He was cutting in deep into the defense. He was creating opportunities. He was running around. We saw an energized Martin Odegaard, which
Mhm.
is very, very important because, see, mind you, me and you have already talked about the importance of Martin Odegaard standing up, showing up in the game.
Right.
It might literally not be the big games, yeah, but I'm talking
Mhm.
of those, the average teams, the smaller teams, at least those ones. Get a grip of those ones. Come back energizing and galvanize the team. After all,
Right.
is our captain. So, what do you think, Martin Odegaard? Cutting in the defense of Brighton, opening them up, and pushing it. At least we could see that he's back in a way, and when he's back, Arsenal's midfield is back.
Right.
What do you think, man?
I agree with that. I mean, he is at times, unfortunately, the catalyst for that. Getting us up the pitch, getting some attacking prowess. You know, putting in some good balls in the box for Saka and Martinelli, Jesus.
Hmm.
But again, Brighton, gave him room. Like we've talked before as well, Tony. You give Odegaard 3 or 4 or 5 yards with the ball, he's going to annihilate any defensive back line. We know
Yeah,
he's got an incredible ball, can loop balls in, through balls, back heels, whatever trickery you want, right? But it's when he gets pressed up close, right? When he's got the
yeah,
ball in the final third and the defender gets right on him, he either dinks around him, right? Jukes around him or
yeah,
something, or loses the ball or passes it laterally, which we saw against Aston Villa. He was really, really inept at doing anything because they
yeah,
pressed him so hard. And Brighton
yeah,
just, Brighton isn't Villa. Brighton isn't Liverpool or City, etc. And so, like you said, teams like Brighton and Wolves and, even Sheffield, right, who we pounded, I think, about 5-6-0.
yeah,
Odegaard had, acres and acres of space to do what he needs to do. But it's why are we not creating that space for him, those opportunities for him with games like we played against Villa? Why
yeah.
is it night and day, right? And
Mm,
that's still the problem. I think a lot of us, Arsenal fans have is that we see an Arsenal at Aston Villa one day, but then I know we're at home to Brighton. It's a different circumstance, different team, home crowd, etc. But why can't we just recreate that somewhat? away.
That's exactly, man.
What's the miscommunication or the
Mm,
the obstacle that's holding us back to create that space for Odegaard so he can operate in those areas, in those small areas of space. Because again, if you pressed him, Carl Rossi pressed him, Yeti, I mean, he would lose the ball. You know, you get up close to a guy, they've got, harder decisions to make, more
mm,
control to have.
mm.
And you can just see that he's inept when he's pressed like that against bigger teams.
But again, I also think because earlier, of course, in our earlier matches, people were always saying,
Mhm.
"Oh, it's because of the introduction of Kai Havertz." Yeah, we're not delving
Mhm.
into the Kai Havertz issue right now, but of course, some Arsenal fans, yeah, were saying, "Hey, the introduction of Kai Havertz into the middle of the park has really, it's really cause for concern because it has kind of like affected." Um, Martin Odegaard's form and presence in the midfield. But looking at that matchup against Brighton, yeah, I, I think those are, those assertions are a little bit, overboard. Because
Mhm.
even if Kai Havertz was in that game, yeah, he did play quite well anyway.
Mhm.
But Martin Odegaard, he found space. He
Mhm.
found space. He was
Yeah,
taking players on. He was cutting in deep. And you know what? Yeah, he didn't even have to go deeper to play because Declan Rice had that on check. Declan
right,
Rice, was protecting our back four. He could progress the ball. Martin Odegaard just played in his right position. He didn't have any defensive duties to do. He just had to be in his attacking midfielder
mhm,
mode, and everything was all right. Creating those chances, cutting in he literally cut open that Brighton defense. In the first half, those guys should have gone down at least 5 goals to nil. Like,
right,
if not
right.
their goalkeeper and some smart defending from Brighton, they should have gone at
Mhm.
least 5 goals down. And of course, Arsenal's ineptitude, yeah, in our striking and attacking on the day. It really saved Brighton from being mashed
Humiliation.
up
Yeah,
pretty bad on the day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
uh,
for
you know,
sure.
so those excuses of Kai Havertz being introduced into the team as kind of like scoop at the whole thing with Martin Odegaard, I think it's overboard because we can see right now that Martin Odegaard can cook. It's just him. It's just a question of can Martin Odegaard rise up to the occasion?
Right,
What do you
absolutely.
think, man?
No, I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's
Mm,
it's it's how he feels, and it kind of goes back to even with Lacazette, right? You could see the look on his face the moment he walked out on the pitch if he was going to do something that day or not.
mm,
And I hate to say it, but Odegaard, I think, you know, needs to find that inner strength and that mentality for
yeah,
week in and week out. We're relying on him as the captain, and it's so night and day from what we saw against Villa to what we saw against Brighton. And I would
yeah,
be happy with just a nice middle. I do. I love seeing 26 shots, right?
yeah.
But we only bagged two of them, and the keeper I think
Mm,
had like 7 or 8 saves, right? So
mm.
maybe this does sound maybe a bit crazy, but hey, take less shots, but just let's be a little more clinical.
Let's be a bit more
Let's be more
clinical.
selective. But sometimes that selectiveness, Tony, as you know, even back in the old Wenger days, we were always trying to score that perfect goal. Just basically
Mm,
roll the ball in, the net,
mm,
right? And
mm.
it's times like it was so frustrating where we're just yelling, shoot, shoot, shoot.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
And so, but
Yeah,
when Odegaard does that, it's some of his stuff is just off target. He's missing, and every now and then he'll put it, in a near post, way back in the back
yeah,
of the bag. So I don't know, man. It's just one of those things how he feels, and I don't really want players like that. I want players that are aggressive every weekend to get out there and
yeah.
prove what they've got every single weekend. Not sort of thinking like, well, maybe I'm just going to go through the motions this time because Aston Villa, he was absolutely just disgraceful.
It was disgraceful, man.
Brighton, he's
It,
just
it
like
was disgraceful.
he's
It was
all over the
the
place. Like
shambolic performance from the captain, man.
we need a
Horrible,
we need a
horrible
happy
performance.
medium with it, man. We need to find a consistent medium where he's getting space and room to do what he does, and actually take some shots outside the box, and see if Jesus can run up on one or Saka. I think it was a goal we scored off a keeper rebound that somebody ran up on earlier this season and popped one in the net. I think it was Jesus.
Mm,
So there's just little things like that he can improve on that we need to improve on overall.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just
Talking
it's
about his
not.
hitting, yeah. Talking about his, you know, his hitting of goals and trying to score goals. He tried his best, yeah, on the day against Brighton, yeah.
Hmm.
You know, it's from one missed kick to maybe not curling it perfectly. Um, he scored some few goals this season, yeah, but I
Hmm.
don't think it's anything like last season. I think he's a little bit
Right.
more desperate this season
Hmm.
to score a goal. So it's really
Yeah,
taking up the gloss out of his goal scoring prowess. Uh, do you think it will still come around? Maybe we're just 16 games into the Premiership. Do you still think that Martin Odegaard will find his shooting boots again and getting on goals this season? Or
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I We all know that these pretty boy players play better when it's not raining, right? When it's not cold and wet and coming down rain horizontally, basically in their face.
yeah,
But I think that he's a skilled player. The debate is he world class. I don't know, but the fact is that he's a very good player on the day. But he
mm,
has to be the one to pull the players, the game, the scruff of the neck, and push us forward. And in
I'll
Aston
push
Villa,
forward.
I was very disappointed. I was
Mm,
upset, like all of us were, that he
mm,
just didn't seem to want to do that or or have the ability to do that. And then we
mm.
see Brighton again; he's absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, as the sun comes out and he feels more comfortable, and can get involved in the games, well, sure, I think he can bag probably another 5 or 6 goals this season. I don't see why that would be a problem. I hope he
That would
gets
be a
two or
problem.
three, 2 or 3 coming up. But
Mm,
I don't want to rely. He's not the one we should be relying on, right, of bagging goals, because the real problem
yeah,
right now is, as I see, is Martinelli. He's only got 2 goals in the Premiership,
Martinelli.
and
Mm,
it's really
that's a
not working out for him right now. And I
that,
don't want to change
that's a
subjects
big
on you,
one.
but if you want to talk about that, we can jump on that as well. Because
Mm,
he's my left winger, he's our left winger, but it is not working for him right now. And I think
it's not
that's
working for
all
him.
got to work together for Odegaard to do what he's got to do, and for Jesus to do what he's got to do. Right? It's all got to click up there for the attacking five.
Mm,
Um, and one of one piece of the machine isn't working, it all kind of
isn't
falls
working.
apart. And that's what we saw against Aston Villa, right?
True, true. See, now that you've brought out that topic, we have to delve into it. But again, it's going to
Right.
be attached to something else. Shout
Right.
out to Longhead Yeti. He's down here with us, guys. Longhead Yeti had a great show. I think he was talking about Steve Cooper. See,
Oh,
another
that's great.
Premiership referee bites the dust again. Yeah.
Mm,
See, man. I'm hearing that Santo might be brought in from Saudi Arabia to come and take
I
over
read that.
Nottingham Forest. But see, man, Yeti, and I knew that you did like Cooper anyway, and of course him coming down there to the football club, making you guys dream again. At least that what you
Mhm.
posted. But again, let's see what happens. And I wish Nottingham Forest the best.
Me
Absolutely.
too. Yeah, I
Uh,
think they're down to 17th. I saw that's yeah. They're unfortunate. Yet you've had a bad string of games in the last few
yeah,
years.
exactly, man.
Steve Cooper
I
did what
just
he could
feel for
do, but
Yeti, man.
there's somebody better out there. Yeti and I have talked a
Mm,
bit too, Tony, about Steve Cooper off and on, and I think him and I know there's somebody out there that can keep them up for sure.
yeah,
That'll do
exactly.
anything.
Mostly with the wealth of players that Nottingham
Mhm.
Forest have.
Yeah,
Those guys
I
have
think
got
there's some good
Gibbs.
squad.
They've got Gibbs, Danilo. See, they have a
Look good
huge
on
roster.
paper. Yeah.
Huge roster, and they have expensive players down there, so they should be doing more. I'm not saying that Cooper isn't a great guy. Cooper is a great guy, but again, there comes a time, yeah, when you've taken a team to the right spot. It's time to say
Right.
goodbye. And then you
Right.
have to live it up for someone more experienced, someone who has a more in-depth experience of handling a team, mostly a team with stars that should be doing better. So I do think that Nottingham Forest should be doing better with what they've got. I've had when I was at the cave, I had this discussion with
Mhm.
Longhetti. Yeah, that, they should be doing better, and they have depth in squad. So even
Right.
injury shouldn't even be a problem. They, for crying out loud, they have Taiwo Awoni, one of the most coveted strikers in the
Mhm.
league. I'm not saying
Mhm.
he's scoring 30 goals, but he's that guy that, he puts some muscle into every tackle. He could get you goals. He's a great guy. So,
I would pick him
all these
over
things, yeah.
Dominic Solanke. I know that.
Exactly, man. So when you have this kind of players, you have to be in the, in the top middle of the
Yeah,
league, because they do have the depth, the squad. They do have the people who could put in a shout. But again, Nottingham Forest aside, we're just talking about it because Longet Yeti is our guy. See, we delve deep into
Mhm.
Arsenal's attacking problems. Yeah, BX Gunner is down here. He says Odegaard, Rice, Havertz are the best midfield in the league. I have no, I have no, I have no problem with that right now. Havertz is scoring. Rice looks like a 200 million pound signing. Yeah,
Machine, yeah.
Odegaard is good, but of course he's just getting back into his into his form, and he needs to add more goals, and then we will say that midfield trio is really the best.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's a good point. If we could talk about that just for a minute, Tony.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean I'm starting to run through midfields right in my head, and I think Gunner's right. I mean City's midfield losing Gundogan was a massive blow for them.
Massive, massive
Rodri
blow.
isn't as good as he was last season. You know he's been hit or miss. I mean City still have a very good midfield, but I think he's got a point. I think we are just a bit better than City's midfield. I think we're
Yeah,
better than Liverpool's midfield with Endo in there with
yeah,
McAllister, Gravenberch, and Schoboschlei. I think that might be a bit better than ours. But
mm,
McAllister's been out for a while, and I think he's going to even be out for longer. I think he had a
yeah.
pretty bad injury. But as of current right now, I think I agree with BX Gunner is that we currently have the best midfield right now in the league.
Yeah,
It's
right
far
now.
better than United's. It's far better than Chelsea's, obviously.
Yeah.
City and Liverpool really, and even Villa has a decent midfield. Right, McGinn's really played well this season.
Kamara, they have
Kamara, I think he
Kamara,
just got a red
Bubakar
card though for
in the
punching a
middle
guy in
of
the
the park.
face.
Yeah,
So he'll be out for 3 games. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at it, City and Villa would be second, and well, maybe Liverpool over Villa. But yeah, I agree with that. I think currently, right now, on form, I think you're absolutely right.
anyway, we'll
Out of,
find
out of
we anyway
faults that
we will find out all about that when we visit
of
Anfield.
Liverpool.
That's a big game. So
That's a
so
huge
we
game.
will confirm the statement from
Right,
BX
right.
Gunner at Anfield. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
we have to go there and cook. That's our last topic for the day. But
Mhm.
again, yeah, see, in that matchup against Brighton, yeah, in the first half alone, 15 chances went begging, 15
Fantastic.
shots and goal, just went begging. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we just. It's either we miskicked it, it's either we fluffed our lines, it's either that bite wasn't there, that
Yeah,
attacking bite wasn't there. I think it stretched up to 25 shots on goal, but
yeah.
no goals. It was horrible. Yeah.
Right.
But again, we did get 2 goals, yeah. In the
Hmm.
second half, which is very important. But
Yep.
again, our attacking laps, our attacking
Our
hold
finishing.
in
Our
the
finishing.
and finishing
Yeah.
in this team was
It's
laid bare.
us.
It was laid bare. If there's any matchup, yeah, this season, yeah, that our attacking prowess was called to question, it's the game against Brighton, because with the amount of chances we did have in that game,
Hmm.
Brighton ought to be at least 8-0 down at the end of the first
Yeah, for
and
sure.
second. It was supposed to be a whitewash. I'm not saying
Right.
Arsenal should be beating teams 8-0, 7-0. No, that's not what I'm saying. But again, when these chances are being
Opportunities are
presented to you,
there.
you
Yeah.
have to take those chances. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if up to 15, 20 chances, shots on goal, and opportunities, goal attempts are being gotten in a matchup, you should be at least claiming at least 5 or 6, man. You know, so
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
so
You're
so what do
100%
you
right.
think about these attacking lapses? Is it very
Um,
important that we delve into that market and get our striker? And
yes.
where does your striker ideals fit in? Victor Osimhen also it has been mentioned in a few dailies here and there, and
Mhm.
also Ivan Tony. Also, what
Yep.
do you think? There's even rumors that Ivan Tony on loan. Just take us through these
I have
things and put in perspective the
seen that.
strikers I've just told you about.
I think everything we can do to get Eddie and Ketty out of the club, number one, right? So that that we've got to get them out because we can already identify Osimhen and Tony are better.
Yeah.
There's no debating questions about that. It's just about the money we're going to look at. And again, I'm one of those guys, Tony, as many of you know in the chat, spend it. I don't care. I don't care that we spent 700 million. I don't care. It's not our money, right, guys? I mean, it's not. If we have the ability to pay for that and get the players in we need to get ourselves a run of trophies, right? But with that 700 million, I don't want one, right? That's the point. If we spend 700, and let's say we spend another 800 million, next in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're up 800 million. But if we get a trophy out of it and possibly an FA Cup and a deep run in the Champions League, I will be over the moon happy with that,
That's it,
right?
man.
But we have to do it again. That money has to spend out, right? It has to last. So
Yeah.
with that being said, we break the bank and get both of them in. Put Jesus out on the wing. Put Jesus on the bench. Osimhen is your top striker, and put Tony on the bench on loan. So you have equal quality backup in the striking position. Osimhen gets hurt, Tony's right in. There's no drop.
Tony's right in.
No drop in quality. Tony goes in, he gets injured. We have Osimhen, he comes in, no drop of quality. I mean, realistically, I don't think we're going to buy both of them and spend that money. But if we can buy Osimhen and get Tony on loan, then
Because
we're really changing our attacking dynamic, right?
I'm
That
really
changes a
hearing
lot.
I'm really hearing Ivan Tony on loan. And see, it's good you brought up the name of Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, guys, what are you doing? When Carl Rossi says, hit the likes, you just have to hit the
Oh, the
likes.
Rossi.
Our brother Taib Hussein is also down here, man.
Yeah, legend.
Smash the likes. Carl Rossi says, and our big brother Taib Hussein says, hello people. How are you doing, Tahib, man? We've missed you on the channel, man. Hope you're good, my brother, man. He says, hi, Carl. Hi, Yeti. He greets everyone down there. Oregongooner even gets in on the act and says hi to him.
I
See,
know.
yeah,
He's such a nice gentleman.
he's a gentleman, absolutely nice gentleman. But see, yeah, Oregongooner, yeah,
Yes.
Arsenal is talking of bringing Ivan Tony on loan. Like, does it suit the narrative? Yeah,
If
that we wanna.
we if we can get
Why
the
should
deal done,
but again, why should we be talking about Ivan Tony on loan?
I know.
It should be an outright sale.
No,
Uh,
our
What is
so we
this?
like to pinch pennies. If it's a 90 million, we offer 87. If it's 95 million, we offer 90. Right. So I mean, it's because I think Tony has the option to just sign another contract, and if he does that, then the price, right, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, the skyrockets, right?
It
So we
skyrockets, yeah.
can do a loan in a $50 million deal, or he signs a contract at Brentford and we have to buy him for 80 or 85 mil, right?
Oh my God, no.
That's what I've been reading. So correct me if I'm wrong. A loan to buy is fair enough for me. I don't have a problem with
It's
that
fair.
because I don't think I think if we got Tony and Osimhen in, Tony statistically would probably have a better season, right? Because
Yeah.
Osimhen would be brand new to Premier League. You'd have
Oof.
to there'd be a lot of like background
Yeah.
training work you have to do. I think Tony slots right in. I literally do. I think you could basically swap him and Eddie, and the next game have Tony in there ready to go. I
Uh,
believe he's fit. I think he's match fit, and Osimhen is all those things too. But Osimhen's going to be a struggle to get. Like Napoli, as much as they've shown that they don't value him through a lot
mm,
of social media posts over the last month or so, I think
yeah.
mocking him in certain instances, and
Yeah.
we really don't know though how fed up he is at Napoli. We don't know that for sure. They're in the round of 16 with him. Is there really any reason for Osimhen to leave now?
Mm.
Probably not, right? Unless you throw a lot of money his way, and we're
His way.
talking a wage, a big wage he's going to need
Mm.
for us
Eh,
to get him in January.
yeah.
And maybe the Tony thing is just a little more reasonable.
Okay. Carl Rossi says, "Yeah, I only want Tony." I clearly
Okay.
understand that. I clearly understand that because But again, I'm really scared about this Ivan Tony
Mm,
signing in a way. I was not concerned about it before, but now that the talk about Ivan Tony is increasing day by day in the dailies, I'm now also thinking about um about his lack of match fitness. Because see, I want to win the league. This is the end game.
See,
I
I
don't know
want to
if
win too.
I don't know if anyone is thinking about this, across these lines. I don't want to fluff my lines like we did last season. I want to
Sure.
win the league. So,
Right.
do you think Ivan Tony, has that match fitness? He hasn't been playing. It was banned from football for a couple of months.
As far as I know, he's been training.
We do know that match fitness is the bread and butter of any striker. You need to be, practicing in at the
Right.
in the end of it, practicing scoring goals, and then you take it up from there. He hasn't been playing. At least he hasn't been playing competitively. Do you
Right.
think if Arsenal go get him, do you think there will be a problem? I know he's a big professional, but come on, man. 6 months
I don't know, man.
away, one
I
year
don't think
away from the
come on,
game.
Tony. He was working with trainers. He was working with shooting coaches. It's not like he was sitting around playing FIFA and Fortnite. I mean, he was working. I mean, you can see the Instagram posts of him in the gym, like working out. Like it's his responsibility to keep his fitness because I believe, is still under contract at Brentford, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he has a responsibility to do that, even if he is, out of the squad. Essentially, I'm sure he does. Um, I just think that yes, he has the physical capabilities to come in. If we were to buy Tony, and let's say we were playing Luton or Luton or I don't know, Wolves or somebody, a lower level team, I would say yes, put him in instantly. If he gets
Yeah.
out there, runs, I don't, let's hope he doesn't get injured, but he's not sitting around just eating donuts, bro. I think
Mhm.
he knows what day he's going to be on, right? He knows what day of the year he's going
Of
to
the
be off
year.
this probation, and I think he's going to be ready to make a move. And I really don't think he's ready to sign a contract at Brentford. I don't. That's not being really talked about. It looks like he's very much, funneled in
it
to
was the same thing
Arsenal.
that was talked about with Victor Osimhen, that he's not going to sign a new contract, but he signed a new contract. But the thing there is that they put a clause there, so anyone that want to get him, put up the clause,
For
amount
150
of money,
mil.
and then
Right.
it's all good.
And I know he's going to be targeted for other clubs. I think Inter Milan are looking at him. I think AC Milan look at him. I'm sure Madrid have their nose in there somewhere because
Yeah,
they're going to need a striker. I mean, just Salu's not going to cut it there. I mean, let's be
yeah.
real. Um, and I think with Lewandowski, I've heard maybe going somewhere. Maybe there's a slot for him there. I don't know. I don't really see him fitting in a Barcelona, but
I don't really see him going
but I mean,
abroad.
but to think Arsenal's the only club, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous to think that we're the only ones looking at him, right? I mean, there's other clubs definitely looking at him. And I think Chelsea even had their nose in there too. And with Ivan Tony, I think Chelsea are looking at. And if Ivan Tony goes anywhere, I doubt it's going to be Chelsea, just because obviously we have Champions League football and we're first. I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be a ridiculous decision for him to go to Chelsea. I think he'd be totally drowning himself in a massive sea of players that half of them are going to be gone in the summertime anyway. But that's another story. Um,
absolutely.
Osimhen and even like types the Spurs, I know, are sniffing around him too. So any way we cut it, I don't think Osimhen is probably even going to leave in January if Napoli have a decent run in the Champions League. If they can get through the round of 16, I don't think he goes anywhere in January.
Well,
Somewhere,
the narrative is, if any club can trigger his
it's
his clause,
yeah,
it's all good. It's all about the money.
right.
If
Oh
you
yeah,
trick,
for sure.
it's simple. It's very simple. Trigger the amount they mentioned in the contract, and it's
Right.
done. It's
And De
simple.
Laurentiis, the owner of
It's simple.
Napoli, is a selling guy. He's a businessman. He
It's a,
sells players, as you guys know, like it's nothing. He doesn't give a
exactly.
shit.
Just
You
come with
know,
the cheddar. It's okay. If Arsenal are serious about it, you go with the money. Just trigger the release clause, and you get your man. It's simple.
it's
Spend the
simple.
goddamn money.
I would
Big
get
up
them
to
both.
here today. Here today is a legitimate member. Yeah, these guys, they spend their money. And guys, yeah, you could always be a member. From next month, I'll be starting, because my membership is growing also. So I will be starting a members only show. So the members of the channel can be able to come in and have their say. Anyone who is a member of this channel can come in and have a say. And they might even be the guests. Oregongooner is a member of my channel. He can come in, he can be the guest. Here to there, you can even turn the lights off and just put your audio on. It's okay. Yeah. Nobody has to see your face. So if you're a member of the channel, from next month we will be having members only shows. So here today, thank you very much for putting your money where your mouth is. Carl Rossi, get your membership. Come on, bruv. You ought to be a member of my channel. Tavis in. Be a member, man. It's just £1. Come on, man. It won't kill you. Here today says it says preach thou, Eddie out. Um, Ivan in January must happen.
That
See,
happens.
this is clear. See, here today has he's made himself extremely clear. Eddie out, Ivan in January must happen. But you know what? This is the big one, yeah. In the dailies just this week, Eddie Nketiah linked to a move to Brentford and Crystal Palace yet again. Brentford have inquired about signing Eddie Nketiah for Arsenal. What do you have to say? And you know what? Yeah, I'm hearing that Arsenal
Let's drive
are
them there.
See, Arsenal is holding out for a 40
Mm,
million pounds for Eddie Nketiah, English
right.
international. See, that was songs to my ear, not a song, songs to my ear.
It was a
I felt,
beautiful
oh my
Pavarotti
Oh my God, it sounded
yeah,
beautiful.
opera.
Does that does that sound beautiful to you in your
Yes.
ears right now? Does that sound like a big flavor in your ear?
The
See, guys,
hair,
yeah,
hair up the
brown
arm
new flavor in your ear, a brown new flavor in the ear. Does that sound like a brown new flavor in the air?
yes, and you know what? 40 million. Again, we're not in early 2000s football where 40 million was like, holy shit, right? 40 million is like that's the norm now, right? I mean, let's be real. You know, Eddie Nketiah, I think, in either Crystal Palace or Brentford, will have a decent career there. He will
He will
score
have a
some
decent
goals
run.
there. He'll be somewhat of a leader type figure there
He will have
because
less
he'll
pressure, less pressure
have
to
less
perform.
pressure, and he'll probably just get a more decent run of games. He'll probably play in week in and week out, and I'm sure he'll bag some goals. But bro, I would fly over to London right now and drive him there myself in one of those big buses you guys got with the big things on the top and people sit and shit. I'd drive this, just driving that butter. Come on in, Eddie. We're going to Brentford. I have to poke that up on my Apple Maps, drop him right off at the stadium. Yeah, man, I don't care.
You
He has to
you're gonna
go.
put you're gonna put him at the back of your trunk and
I will
drive
put him
him
back
like
in my truck,
Eminem and drive
drop
him like
him out
Eminem
with
and just push him down
the
there to Brentford.
knock his ass out, put him in the trunk, put a hood over him or something. Tell him to be quiet and drive his ass
But
to Brentford
but
over the
but
Atlantic Ocean.
Oregon, it's not like we hate Eddie Nketiah.
Of
See,
course
guys in
not.
the charts, yeah.
Of course not. No,
Let's
he's a
get
nice
this
guy,
straight.
good
It's
good
not that we
person.
hate him. We
No,
don't hate Eddie Nketiah. It's a brother. We like him, you know.
yeah,
But see, yeah, see, Arsenal Football Club, we're more than this. Yeah, we're not some club that this uh,
mm,
we're not a mediocre club, man. And I'm sorry, Eddie Nketiah is not Arsenal level.
no,
I don't mean to dampen people's hopes. I don't mean to, bring Eddie down. I know he's a good guy and all. I heard he's very tenacious and hardworking in training and
right,
comes even first to training. I heard he has good work ethics. I
right.
clearly understand that. But come on, man. You need to be getting at the end of goals when you're at Arsenal Football Club. And he can't complain. Mikel Arteta has given him chances upon chances upon chances, and he hasn't got it. You need to be scoring goals when you're at Arsenal. Yeah, when you're a poacher, yeah, like he is, he's a poacher, but
Hmm.
he's not. He hasn't been that for Arsenal Football Club.
Right,
As a striker in this club, you should be getting at the end of 2025 goals mid as a
minimum.
mid-level striker. You
Right,
should be getting 2025 goals. He's not doing it. None of our strikers are doing it. And
no,
at least that's the basics you should be attaining with Arsenal when you're in this football club, because these chances will come begging. Chances have come begging at Arsenal, and this guy's Erin cutting it. So I have no mercy whatsoever. Even if
mm,
I do like Eddie Nketiah, I like him as a person. But as a footballer for Arsenal Football Club, I'm sorry, man. Time for
right,
emotions is over. He needs to go to a club that
right.
will love him, give him the support. And I do think he's a Brentford level striker.
Hmm.
Do you think otherwise,
No,
Oregon
I think
Gunner?
Brentford would be a great fit for him. Crystal Palace would be a great fit for him. Um, I see Dominic Solanke mentioned in the comments. I am not sold on him at all. I would rather have our man Yeti's Awanimi from Forest over Dominic Solanke, if I'm to be honest. But no, Brentford's going to be a good fit for him. Either that, like I said, that or Crystal Palace. Either one, he's going to play in, week out, which is what he needs. He's just not good enough for this team right now.
right
Maybe
now.
he's good for an Arsenal club, I don't know, 5 or 6 years later, but that's not going to happen. It's not. He's not as good as Martinelli and Saka and Jesus, and
Mm.
he's basically taking up a spot for someone we could buy who's better and
Someone who's
usable.
better.
And
Exactly.
I see our man Moss to the Sasky Gunner throwing Solanke. Hell no,
Oh no.
no. I just
Oregongooner, or let's take a pause,
I know
man,
we're
because
yeah.
you've just struck a nerve right now with those words you just uttered. Yeah, guys in the charts. Yeah, come on, come on. See Arsenal. Let's don't do this. Solanke, Dominic Solanke. It came out in the papers. Yeah, this week. See, we shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, and Arsenal fans are out there, gassing this guy up. Please, let's don't do this. Yeah, please. Don't do this, Arsenal people. Don't do this, man. I saw Dominic Solanke. In his own right, he scored 8 goals this season. Yeah, I give that to him. Yeah, it's good. It's okay. But I'm sorry, he is not Arsenal level. I'm sorry. Arsenal fans, please, let's don't gas up any striker. See, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, yeah, is being gassed up by this football club. Please, let's don't do this. Dominic Solanke is a good player, but I'm sorry, he's not Arsenal level. I'm sorry. But see, there's something me and Oregon Gunner used to say. How about Gucci? Yeah? How about Gucci? How about Tommy Hilfiger? How about Dio? Yeah, why should we be going for Fubu? Yeah,
Well,
why
we
should
could
we
have
be
Bobby
going for
Shaw for
Sean John?
Harvest. We got Ferrari
Exactly.
money.
Why should we be going for Sean John when we should be getting,
Right.
great designers out there? What is this? Why should we be getting Mercedes Benz when we should be flying out with Ferraris, the Mustangs, and the rest of them? Yeah, why should we? Why are we doing this? Please, anyone who is gassing out Dominic Solanke, please desist from
Yeah,
doing
he's
that.
not
Please,
guessing out. He needs
you're
to
not
take
doing Arsenal any favors. Please,
Moss is
we
saying
can't be
it's the
having
rumor
Eddie
mill, which I
Nketiah and
get.
then go bring Solanke. He's not better than Eddie Nketiah. Please don't do this. I've had enough. Please don't do this, guys. Please. Ulrich, you wanted to say
Yeah,
something, man.
yeah, I was
I
just
just,
saying,
I
yeah,
just have
it's
to
part
get
of
that
the.
out of my
Oh
chest.
no, I get it.
I needed to get that
I
out of
get
my
it.
chest because
No, I get it. No,
Arsenal fans
it's
are
part of the
pissing me
rumor
off.
mill, though. Part of the rumor mill, I understand that, but sometimes the rumor mill is true, and I wouldn't be any surprised if Edu was at all calling Bournemouth about him. I wouldn't be surprised because Edu, I think, gets lost if it's not South American players. I truly believe that he gets confused. Declan Rice was a given because Declan Rice wanted to come to this club more than anything else because he knew his opportunity at Arsenal would be more than it would be at City. But Dominic Solanke, I mean, yeah, and like you said, like Matt says, zombie for him. Maybe there's some training to do, but I would be looking to move those players on to get, someone like Zubamendi, someone. If we need a midfielder, if we're going to trade Sambi, then we need to get a midfielder. We need to replace like for like, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. So we get rid of
Shout out
Sambi.
Anthony Herbert, a member of the channel. It says, "Big up, guys. Hope you're well, Thou. You're my
You're my
hero."
hero too,
And
Anthony, of
see,
course.
Anthony, you will be on the show because Anthony is a member of this channel and one of my biggest inspirations too. Also, because I started with him, So, Anthony Herbert, much respect to you and much love to you. Hopefully, I should get you on a show. I'm thinking of either tomorrow, so either tomorrow or Friday, so let's see about that. Big ups. He says, "Big up, guys. Hope you well, Dow. You're my hero." Someone says you're his hero, Dow, man. What do you think?
Oh wow, he's my hero. So what can I say? Feelings mutual.
The
Um,
feelings with
it's mutual. Yeah, no, to Solanke. I mean, Solanke 9 goals. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. He doesn't. I, I think to me, like I've said before, I'm 20 plus 25 years of following this club. I'm ready to see another title. I'm tired of good. I want great. And Dominic Solanke is good. He is the definition of good. But we need great.
We
We
need
need
great.
Piero type
Yeah.
greatness. We need
We
Henri
need
type
we need the
greatness.
expensive shit. The expensive shit that's worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. How about that? How about that? Yeah.
yeah,
How about the big designers? How about that?
yeah.
I'm tired of this. How can kings be eating from from the pig stump? Yeah. We should be eating like kings. That's Arsenal Football Club. We're the third biggest club. Yeah, in this league, we should be buying the best of the best. Ivan Tony, Victor Osimhen is down there. Let's go do those deals, man. Please, no
Mm.
one should bring anything about Dominic Solanke. See, Oregongooner, Arsenal have been drawn against FC Porto in the Champions League.
Have,
My brother,
thank
when,
God.
when you saw that draw, what did you think, man?
I was extremely happy because I think we can do Porto. I'm sorry. I mean, a home and away leg. We should be able to beat them away and at home, of course. They have a couple, two or three players. I think that'll hurt us for sure. Their defense. I think they've got a couple of defenders. I mean, they're there for a reason, right? I mean, they're a decent squad. They'll have a good spine. I don't know too much about them this season, how many of them are lost or anything, but I'm glad we didn't get Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Inter, right? I mean, those are the teams I was really, really, really worried about. Um, but yeah, we keep ourselves fit, healthy for the game, and we should be fine. If Arteta puts
Yes.
out the right lineup, I'm not too worried about it. To be honest, really, I'm kind of glad
But,
we got. They were one of the
but
teams I wanted out of that whole group. To be
no, no,
honest,
no. But again, we've always had problems with
yeah,
Portuguese teams over the years. If you remember, Sporting
right.
Lisbon, they dumped us out,
They
yeah, of
did.
the Europa League the other time, yeah, and.
Yeah,
And Sporting Lisbon isn't half of what FC Porto is in the Portuguese league right now.
now you're scaring
FC
me,
Porto
Tony.
is cooking, and mind you, FC Porto came out with the same points, yeah, with FC
Mm,
Barcelona in that group. They topped the group the same thing with FC Barcelona. So it's not far, from reality to say that FC Porto, is a very, very decent team in the Champions
mm,
League. They're looking good. Yeah, I could understand
all
when
the
if you're
time.
saying I could understand if you're saying, yeah, the Portuguese league doesn't hold water, yeah. But just last season we're dumped out by Sporting Lisbon.
Right.
So that doesn't hold water. That argument doesn't hold water either. So
Mhm.
I really think we should be taking this guy serious. But do you think we have the personnel right now, as we speak, to take on FC Porto? Or do you think it is when we go and do deals by
Mm.
January, then we can fully mount a decent assault on the Champions League
I,
and face FC Porto and pick them up. But right now, do you really see us with this team right now causing some kind of havoc to this FC Porto team,
yeah,
a high
yeah,
flying FC Porto team?
yeah. I do. I just think that we just have that bit more of class right now, and of course, every win helps, right? It always puts the wind in your sails. And I've talked a lot about as well about our lost hangovers, how we would lose a game and we'd go on to lose another one, and sometimes another one, or draw, right? But I just
Mm.
feel like the with what we saw at Villa, we came back and whooped ass with Brighton, and so I just feel like Porto is, they're just really not as good as those other teams, Tony. And I know we had problems with Lisbon, and I get that, but we got to write the slate clean a bit. That was last season, but still very much the same team, right?
Yeah,
If not almost the identical team, except for Rice and Havertz, right? So
yeah,
it's all up to Arteta and getting the lineup right,
yeah,
getting the mentality set,
yeah.
and going there, I believe, is somewhat of a hostile place. Probably not as bad as like Sparta Prague or some shit like that, or but I think we can take what we've learned from Sporting Lisbon, or that how we felt after that defeat and
Mm.
getting knocked out. We can take that as part of the winning mentality to go there and put a couple goals in. I'm not expecting to go there and beat them 4-0 or anything, but we should go to Porto and come out of there 2-0, 2-1. There's no with this squad, the way they're playing currently after the Brighton game, we should be able to go in there and get something. And we should be able to beat them, I would hope, 3 or 4-0 at home.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, I,
exactly.
it's just, and I know that's going to be tough. It's a different offering than Sporting Lisbon. It's a lot different than Lons, and it's different than PSV. but we're in the round of 16, and we have to make something happen. We've
We
got
have
to
to
win
make
games.
something happen.
You can only play who's in front of you, and we got, I think, a decent to easy draw.
Mm, mm, exactly. Guys in the charts, I know. See, I'm shameless here. You guys know me. When a player comes up here with the goals, because see, I don't know. See, this is an Arsenal fan channel. Yeah, I want to win the league. Let that sink in. Yeah, let that sink in. I want to win the league. So if any player is scoring goals out here for me, killing himself out there, putting himself out there to score goals for me, you're my friend. If you don't score goals, you're my enemy. How about that? I'm as clear as possible in that. But oh my God, last weekend, Samina Mina, hey, hey, Waka Waka, hey, hey, 65 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. See, yeah, see, guys, yeah. Guys, see, guys in the chat, yeah. I know I'll be chopped up for, for singing his praises, yeah. But see, the proof is in the pudding, yeah. If this guy is out here scoring goals for Arsenal, and me and you at the end of the day, me, you, Oregongooner, can at the end of the season say, oh, okay, this guy contributed to us winning the league. Uh,
Mm.
uh, See, that's what I want to hear.
Right, we'll
That
be
is
in the
literally what I want to hear. So if he makes you happy, yeah, I'm talking of Taib Hussein, I'm talking of Carl Rossi. See, here today, all of you in the chart, yeah. If you guys, yeah, win the league at the end of the season and Kai Havertz contributes lots of goals towards that, that's what we want at the end of the day. Trophy in the bag, scoring goals, it's what we want. We all know player and any allegiance. We owe
Mhm,
Arsenal Football Club the allegiance. So if he's scoring goals, I'm out there. I will be shameless in
mhm.
routing this guy if he keeps scoring goals for us. Are you at that point right now, Oregon Gunner? Are you at that point? Kai Havertz scores again. Mind you, he has the highest goals out of any of our attacking trio, our traditional attacking trio in the league. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Apart from Bukayo Saka, let that sink in. How do you see this guy?
I
And
I
he has
with 6 goals down, doesn't he?
he has goals. He
Well,
has scored more goals than the entire Manchester United score Manchester United attacking
right.
trio. I'm talking of Hoyland, I'm talking of Rashford, and I'm also
Oh, they're
talking of
terrible.
Anthony
Yeah.
this season. Let that sink in.
Hey, I don't have a problem being in the mud over Kai Havertz because of what we saw at Chelsea. We
Yeah,
all were going to give him 5 games, 7 games. I think maybe you said 10 games. I know Jez said 5 or 7 somewhere in there. Lee Gunner completely said no games. I was on the fence too of no games, 0 games.
yeah,
But it's fun to be surprised, isn't it? It's fun to be surprised, is what I can say to that. It's if Arteta's got him playing well, and we start to see it more happening. I mean, it's still early doors essentially to really see what this kid can do. He needs a full season.
mhm.
Um, God, I do feel like I'm in the mud over him because I
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely said that he was horrendous. I didn't want
yeah.
anything to do with him, but I don't mind being wrong.
I
Maybe
don't mind being wrong. Exactly.
maybe
I
there's
don't
something
mind.
there. I don't mind being wrong if we're winning, if he's contributing. It's when we saw him not contributing that we were upset with him,
Yeah,
right? And we would be upset with all the players if they weren't, right? It's not like
yeah.
we've been easy on Saka either, or it's not like
Exactly.
we've
Yeah.
been that easy on Jesus. But
Mhm.
Kai Havertz was such a shock to our system that it's still, I think, taking time for us to kind of
Exactly.
digest that this guy is
I
actually
like that word, shock to our system.
shocked our system.
A certain rush of blood to the
Sun
head.
does, yeah, right. A sudden rush of blood to the head, exactly. And so we were kind of like, well, what direction are we going? Like, what does Arteta and Edu see in this guy that we didn't see, and many
Mhm.
of us didn't see at Chelsea? Well, Chelsea, let's be honest, aren't that good of a squad, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you were just mixing him up with other average players.
Yeah.
But I think over time and the training and getting used to, the attack, our style of attack, our style of defense, etc. I'm glad, and I'm glad to just say that, hey, I was wrong. Maybe he is the catalyst that's going to push us over the line this season. But I'm still not 100% convinced.
100%. See, we're all there. Most of us are there, yeah. But
Hmm.
see, and entirely, yeah, it's not far from reality, yeah, that we are in the mud when it comes to this guy, Kai Havertz, yeah. Probably, maybe we jumped the gun. Maybe we jumped the gun. Yeah, I clearly understand that. But I'm ready to swallow my pride, guys in the chat. I am ready to swallow my pride, my ego, when it comes to this guy. Yeah, I'm ready to do it. If you're scoring goals for me and helping me, see, I'm okay. Put me in the mud. I'm ready to even be in the gutters. If you're scoring goals for me, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my own narrative about this Kai Havertz issue. But see, yeah, Kai Havertz, what what has it done to this guy? It's kind of like an unlocking.
Yeah.
What what has Mikel Arteta done to kind of like unlock, unravel this guy? Because he's putting in challenges in the first 10, 11 games. He wasn't doing that. I wasn't seeing
Right.
challenges. I wasn't seeing clear cut chances where he would run up and open up spaces. Actually, he was getting into spaces, but he was fluffing his lines. He
Right.
wasn't
Right.
getting in at the
It's a
end of
confidence
goals.
thing.
He was hogging the byline, but he wasn't effective enough. He wasn't even putting up a decent performance. So
Mhm.
hence, everyone, maybe not everyone, but a certain part of the fan base, were tired of this guy in his
Right.
first 10 games. So,
Yeah.
exactly, we're entirely in a brain, like, in a brain hemorrhage, with this guy in the first 10 games. But see, man, something different has clicked on with this guy in the last 5, 6 games. What is it that has clicked up with this guy? Shout
Um,
out to Sai, who is in the charts. Pick up
shout
to
out, Sai.
Sai. Great guy. Shout out to Malia. Malia supports me. She comes to my show. She's always on Instagram supporting me. Big up to you. Malia, you have to come to the show soon, yeah? And big up to Jordan Heyman, who's on the show too. Yeah, you were saying something, my brother Oregon.
I'm just thinking there's probably like three things. Okay. Number one, I think that um, w- they train day in and day out. So I think he's naturally getting more in the groove, right? He's naturally getting more comfortable with Odegaard, Rice, Martinelli, Saka, etc. Right. So I think there's just a natural assimilation is happening. I mean, he has many games now under his belt for Arsenal, right? We're past the
Yeah,
10 game mark. We're close. I was it week 18, week 19. We're moving into, and he's played a lot, right? He's gotten several minutes now with Arsenal.
yeah,
So I think it's the assimilation piece, just getting into the squad more, feeling more comfortable. And well, I guess number two would be feeling more comfortable. He's looking more confident, like he knows spatially where to be on the pitch. He's not following players
yeah,
around,
yeah,
like
exactly.
like we saw Grayson Martinelli, at one point, like, are you fucking defending him, bro? Like, what are you doing, right? Like, instead of going out wide, pulling the defender, making space. So there's that as well. So yeah, with the assimilation of the squad, which has built his confidence for number two. I think the third thing is that he's kind of maybe he's looking at some old film of the recent weeks of him playing. Maybe
Yeah,
Arteta's really been able to sit him down one on one and go through some of the prior games that he's been in at Arsenal and point out this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you're doing right. And if you can then eliminate what you're doing wrong, you can focus on the things that he's doing right, because then the little things that he's doing wrong will start to just not happen and not to show themselves. And I only say that because I've coached football, I've coached basketball, I've coached, even baseball a bit with kids and teenagers
with
and so forth.
kids. Yeah,
And the main thing is that you got, and the fourth thing is that you've got to have, well, for kids, it's the number one thing, but for professionals, down there on the list is having fun, right? And
yeah,
feel like actually producing something. And so I think with those four things, they've just gone Kai's way lately. He's
late.
playing the team better. He's got more confidence. He's probably been identified what he's done wrong in the past and been
Yeah,
able to what fix that.
And
Again,
he's
we're talking
finding
about
space.
football.
He's finding space.
We're talking
He's
about a
finding
top
space.
German national footballer. This kid has gotten acclaims from the time he was 16 years old. He's been talked about in 442, ESPN FC. You do not lose your talent overnight. And he's proven that that's true by what he's done at Arsenal so far and what he couldn't do at Chelsea,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
He was not given the four things I talked about at Chelsea. He's not been given the tools, and praise to Arteta for at least, I truly think he has talked to him on a personal level and physically shown him what he's done wrong. He has
Wrong.
to. I don't understand how else you evolve, right? Because
Mm.
at times where I've shown kids on the pitch, of videos from a phone saying, you've done this right, you've done this wrong, the mistakes go away once you are busy, once you can graphically show them what they're doing. And I truly think that, Kai's still a young kid, that Arteta's been able to really kind of have a breakthrough. But again, we'll see. He may be shit for the next 4 weeks, right? But the thing is that, like Carl said, we demand more from a $65 million signing. And I agree with that,
Yeah,
right?
Karossi is hard. It's hard on
Ready
this
to hit the
guy, man.
ground running, which he has a right to be as a fan, and
Yeah, it's hard
as
on
a
him, man.
diehard fan, he has a right to be right there, claiming he's not on the shit anymore. He's still on the list, on the shit list, because there
Yeah,
still are things that he needs to improve on. But the fact is that he's here, he's wearing the shirt, he's in the lineups, and at this point, he's scoring goals and he's producing
and
something. You can see
and
there's
again,
something.
he's scoring goals and he's not our striker. I don't know.
Right.
Do you get this?
Midfield
He's
goals,
scoring
yeah.
goals, but he's not our striker. Gabriel
Midfield
Jesus is
goals.
our striker. Eddie Nketiah is our striker.
Yeah.
God damn it, Martinelli is actually our striker. Also, if you,
Mm-hmm.
in the grand scheme of things, because he's playing in a more advanced position than Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is just a midfielder. Which midfielder has scored goals than him this season? So that's what I'm talking about. So if he's putting in these performances, if he's scoring goals, man, I'm not. There's no need of hyping him. I get that, no hyping. But
Yeah.
if he's scoring goals to me, you better be sure I'm talking about it. That's what I'm saying. It won't go unnoticed because if you're scoring these goals, man, I need to, I need to herald him in a way. The final one, Oregon, before we go, Arsenal versus Liverpool.
Mm. Tough game, but we're going to do it. I think we can pull out a. I think we can pull out a 2-1. It's going to be a good game because they had opportunities against United that, whoo! I mean, if United fought hard, I mean, if we give a good defensive display like United did, I think we could get something out of that game. And I have no problem going there and getting a draw. I really don't. Of course, I want the win. I want the 3 points, get us up the table, get us some space. But realistically, I think we can draw there. But we better not freaking lose. I know that much. I know that
Oh my God.
we better not lose, man, because I think that would be a big debt. And to be honest, I think this is the biggest game of our season so far, right here.
The biggest
It
game of
really
our
is.
season.
Yeah, right here.
Exactly. But again, when you see Manchester United, yeah, when you see
Mm,
Manchester United go into Anfield, yeah, I will be on the show with Anfield Uncle Rod on his channel by 9 p.m. today. So guys, check that out. See, yeah, if Manchester United are dead, by the way,
mm,
a dead Manchester United team goes far away, yeah, to Anfield,
mhm.
yeah, to go have a tussle with their biggest rivals. And then they
Right.
go there. They don't only go there to survive, they get a draw out of the
Mhm,
proceedings at
mhm.
Anfield, of all places.
Right.
Arsenal should be going to Anfield and thinking of a win.
That's what
Actually,
I'm saying.
we did put Manchester United on a spliff. We
Yeah.
bamboozled those guys when they came down to the Emirates. Oregongooner, we should be going to Anfield and beating
We should
Liverpool.
be
What do
them.
you
We
think?
should be them because
That
I
should be
think
the narrative.
the Skinner said we do. I think have a slightly better midfield than them. McAllister's out, which I think he's a great player, and I know Ryan Gravenberch is tough. Endo's looking like he can play a part, but they're not as good as us, bro. They're just I just can't. I look at that position. Maybe attacking wise, they're a little bit better. I think their front three, right? If I had Luis Diaz, Nunez, and Salah at my attacking three, I would be confident too. But kind of like their defense is kind of hit or miss. I know Trent Alexander-Arnold's having an incredible season, but I don't know, man. I just think we can get something there. I really do, because
Mm,
United showed the way. You just have to. be really strong in your defensive and hit them well on the counterattack. If we can get them on
Yes.
a counterattack, they're toast, man. I don't see Van Dijk, running all the way back trying to catch Jesus. I mean, I know he's a great defender, but to be honest, he's kind of fallen off in a couple seasons. In my
Mm,
eyes, at least, he's
in your
still
eyes.
class. But yeah, I think we can go there and get something. But again, I won't be disappointed with the draw, Tony. I'll be like, okay, if we get shots, and it's a fought game, 55, 45% possession and pretty even on corners, tackles, etc. And it's at
Yeah.
1-1, 0-0. I will praise the team for going there and just
For
getting
going
something
there, just getting something.
right.
Guys, we've come to the end of the show. See ya, Oregongooner, man. Big ups to you, man.
Big
Talk
ups,
to these people. Tell them about your prediction for that matchup on Sunday, and also tell them
bro.
where they can find you, Oregongooner, and what you got coming up this week or this
My
weekend.
prediction for Sunday at Liverpool is going to be 2-1. I got to be positive for the boys. I got to believe that we can get something there. Again, a draw I would be okay with that as well, but a loss is unacceptable this time in the season. Because December games mean everything, Tony. This is the run of games that we look forward to every season that you have to perform well in. So I'm going to go 2-1. My goal scorers are going to be, I think Saka's going to get a brace because I think on the left defensive side, I can't remember who their defender is, Samakis or something like that.
Chimakas.
Saka's going to even for dinner if he can get a
Let's see.
one-on-one. So hopefully Starboy can get a couple goals. That's my prediction, 2-1. But anyway, you can find me on YouTube at Oregongooner, Instagram Infamous Dow, every Friday at 9 p.m. UK. And what was it? Shoot, my time zone. 1 p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. East Coast of the American Idiot Show with TJ and Connor. But
Big ups to
yeah,
TJ. That's our guy.
those guys, great show the other day. Yeah, I just hope we perform better against Villa. I can't have this back and forth, tightness. I need open gameplay. I need goals scored, and we need to beat Liverpool if we want to lift the trophy. The road goes through Anfield, right?
We have to
So,
go there, and we have to go there and beat them. I'll throw a little bit of something before we go. I
sure.
want Leandro Trossard to start that game on
Okay.
Sunday against Liverpool. Martinelli, his
Good
form
call.
has been dwindling just a little bit. We might just need someone who scored a hat trick if
I was just going to say,
At
yeah, he's going to have to
Liverpool.
against them. Yep. I think that's a very good call. Give Martinelli a break or bring him on in the 85th,
In
80th minute. Do
yeah,
something,
yeah.
but he is out
Even
of form.
70th minute is not
Yeah,
bad to bring
70
him
even
in.
better for sure.
Switch it
Give
up a
him,
little
give
bit.
him a
Switch
run.
it up.
Yeah, because he may surprise us coming on as a sub, but yeah,
Yeah.
he is a little bit out of form, which Trossard I think is a good call.
Yeah, exactly. From me, guys, yeah, from me and my brother Oregongooner and from the Dal and Claude show, we are out. Peace.